Mel, welcome to BBC Radio Solent. It's lovely to meet you. Now, we've been talking about your album so much in the office because it's new and it's radically different, by your own admission, and quite risky. Why?
Oh, do you think so? I suppose at my tender age, um, I'm not scared anymore.
Mm,
And I'd always wanted to make an album which was more electronic, but always been a little bit scared.
yeah.
I never had the opportunity really, and I just thought, well, I've got nothing to lose. It's not. We say it's radically different production wise. It is quite different for me, but still very much a pop record. I am a pop artist. I'm never gonna move too far away from that. But it's just been nice to work with some younger collaborators and producers, and I think it's helped to make the sound more current.
And working with different producers that you've not worked with before, when you start those conversations, how does that all work? How does that process come about?
Well, I'm very loyal and I like to work with the same people all the
Yeah.
time. And it's lovely to have some great songwriters that I've worked with for many, many years, and I feel very comfortable and confident with them. But then I do like to introduce some new people. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But luckily on this record, the new relationships have really, really worked. And it's just about spending time together, talking about music, talking about the stuff you love, the stuff you've always loved, stuff that's happening now. And you just start to build this, it's like building a relationship and an understanding of what I want to achieve. And it's completely collaborative. So I'm not completely to blame. It's like it's something we've all worked on together.
Does it ever go the other way when you meet somebody that you want to work with, but you're just on different pages and you know it's not going to happen?
Absolutely. Yeah, that does happen. It's kind of rare.
Yeah.
I find if people, because often when you work with people, it's because they've shown an interest in wanting to work with you. So they do know you and they know your work. And so generally it does tend to work. I've got a great publisher as well who knows me very well. So it's about getting personalities at work as well as, the work side of things.
And you said you wanted to write music that you wanted to listen to now. How have your tastes changed over the years?
I think they've definitely evolved because there's just so much more out there now.
Yeah.
There's so many genres and so many mixes of genres. I love so many styles of music, and as a kid, I remember the first stuff I used to listen to was my mum's music. So it would
Yeah.
be the Beatles and
Same as me.
Tamla Motown, and as I got older, I was child of the '80s, so it was Wham and Madonna and Michael Jackson, and then of course the '90s I was really into Britpop, and all through I suppose since the late '80s there's been this dance movement in the UK, which is, pretty mainstream now. The Americans have tried to steal it and call it EDM, but we were there first. So it's been really fun because, there was a time when each genre was, you stayed in your box and that was it. And, you were a mod or a rocker, there was a certain gang that you belonged to. But now there's so much, so many artists working together and collaborating, and, styles have really all become mixed. One of the production teams that I've worked with on this record, they work a lot in the grime scene.
Right.
So obviously that's not a style of music that I'm doing, but it's just nice to have like a really different British urban sound influence on the record.
And just describe grime, because we were talking about it in the office. This is in the office. I was saying, "What's grime?"
I haven't got a clue. But for me it's like it is that British urban sound, and there's rapping, and it's kind of more, it's a more British sound I suppose than
Yeah.
the hip hop of the States. Is that right, chaps over there?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
is that what we want to say? Yeah.
There we
So you
go.
think your artists like Tiny Temper and Wretched
Right.
too, and so it's a pretty big movement.
Yeah. And this album, how long has it taken to write, and where's all the inspiration come from for it?
Well, as with every record I've done, um, inspiration life is the biggest inspiration really, and such is life, that things do keep getting thrown at you, and there's highs and there's lows, and lots of things, especially as you get older and life gets even more complicated than it used to be. So that's my main influence, and it's taken 3 years.
Goodness.
Yeah, physically taken 3 years, like in the studio. I've done lots of other things alongside it, but yeah, the last few months has totally been my focus to get it ready, and it will be probably, hopefully, for the next 2 years. So
And it's been launched in October next month, and the single is out when?
the single is out on the 14th of October, but it's available to download now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to be listening to it in just a moment. Before that, though, we've got to, and I'm sorry about this because I know you'll be so sick of
I have
questions.
no idea what you're going to ask me now. I'm puzzled.
Quantum physics. Could you just explain the theories, please? The Spice Girls reunion, which you're not going to be part of. Why?
Um, ah, Go to www. No, I'm kidding. It was a very difficult decision
Yeah.
for me to make, and we did reunite in 2007. All five of us. We had an incredible tour. We did the Olympics.
Yeah.
We did the closing ceremony in London 2012, and to me that was a real pinnacle of my Spice Girl life. And I will always be a Spice Girl. I'm super proud. I haven't turned my back on the Spice Girls. That's ridiculous. It's not a negative thing, but personally for me right now, I don't feel that going out as a four-piece is right for me. I just, my instinct tells me that I'm not 100% committed to doing it, and I wouldn't want to go into it feeling like that.
Have you got fond memories of your time with them?
Of course. I mean, so many memories, and unfortunately, so many things we've forgotten too. It's one of the great things about when we get together is that some of us remember different things.
Yeah.
And it was such a crazy time where we did so much in quite a short period of time, really, that you do forget bits, but so many great memories. And yeah, and they live on, and we still have opportunities to do incredible things like the Olympics. So I just feel very proud that I was part of that and the legacy that we've left behind.
When you started, did you have any idea how big the Spice Girls would be?
It was our intention. It was funny because, we were young and we all shared this vision, and we were so single-minded. That is what we wanted to achieve. And, I truly believe that part of our success is because we had such self-belief.
And when you did achieve that success, were you ready for it? Did you enjoy it?
I don't think you can ever be ready for it. It's your life gets turned upside down. And, you see lots of bands. I suppose One Direction are the closest to come to that, in the last few years. And your life isn't your own, and your time isn't your own. And I remember we had weeks and weeks on end where we didn't have a day off, and we'd fly from continent to continent. And it's insane. And you can only survive like that for so long. You're living on adrenaline. So that's, one of the reasons I believe that bands like that have quite a short shelf life, really.
So from the Spice Girls to musical theatre, which I'm really, really thrilled to talk about because you were in one of my all-time favourite shows, Blood Brothers, as Mrs. Johnston. How was that transition? Because the stamina, you were talking about the Spice Girls, but doing 8 shows a week in the West End in a show like that that's incredibly emotional, that must have been gruelling.
It was. I have so much respect for people that work in the theatre. I thought I'd worked hard in music, but it was nothing compared to working, like you say, 8 shows a week. The role I played in Blood Brothers, it's very emotional. There's some big songs in there. So it completely took over my life again, because I thought, I'll do this, and in the daytime I can do that and I can do this. And my little girl was 7 months old when I went into the show, and I couldn't do anything. I had to save all of my energy for the show. I loved it. It was incredible. I'm so glad I did it. But it was petrifying. I think the most scared I have ever been, I think there are 2, but I think actually Blood Brothers probably is the number 1 most scared I've been. Opening night in the wings, and I had to suck my cheeks so I didn't vomit. I was that scared. Graphic enough for you? And then the other one, of course, was sitting in the back of a black cab waiting to go out into the Olympic Stadium. But yeah, there's been some very scary moments, but definitely that was the number 1. But what a wonderful thing to do, and it changed my life, and it changed the way people perceive me. And I didn't do it for that. I just did it as a bit of a personal challenge, and it was just the most incredible thing I could have done.
Did you find you were taken a lot more seriously after that?
Absolutely. The biggest shock I had was how embraced I felt by the theatre world, because lots of people from the music industry go into musical theatre, and I think it's hard because I don't think, like every industry, I was only saying this the other day, you get a lot of celebrities or people in the public eye that maybe they're a singer or whatever, and then they go into maybe becoming a TV presenter. And I think they're all very different skills, and and you have to learn. You can't just jump into a role. And personally for me, thankfully I did study performing arts when I was 16 for 3 years, so I had a little bit of experience in that world. But the critics could have really turned against me, but we had incredible reviews, and you know, I was nominated for awards, and it was just amazing.
And from Blood Brothers to Jesus Christ Superstar as well, Mary Magdalene, and that must have been incredible because that was an arena tour, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was great because for me it was like the perfect marriage of everything I know and everything I love. So a wonderful score, you know, Andrew Lloyd Webber's finest, I believe. I love listening to that every night. Rock and roll, right up my street. A wonderful cast with Ben Forster, who we found on the TV show, Tim Minchin, who is God, and Chris Moyles, who's just like one of my closest friends now. So we just had a ball. It was an incredible thing to do, and it was lovely doing the tour and doing arenas because it felt a bit more like home.
So from that now to your own music, sort of come full circle now.
Yeah.
What's next? Are you going to tour with this?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, every record, that's very much in my thoughts when I'm writing and recording and out talking about it. It's all leading towards a live performance.
So Version of Me then, out October the 21st. The single is ready to download now and out officially on October the 14th. You're going to perform now for us.
Yeah.
What are you going to sing?
Okay, well, the first single, it's quite dancey and quite electronic, but luckily it lends itself quite well to an acoustic feel. So we're going to do an acoustic version of the single Anymore.
Mel, absolutely pleasure to meet you. Thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you. Hey, I'm Melanie C, and this is an acoustic version of my new single, Anymore.
2, 3, 4.
I've been trying to not think about you lately, trying to do myself some good, but I'm failing. I've been looking for something else to distract me, looking for someone who's looking for someone worth saving. Save me. I feel the beat kicking my chest, close my eyes and wait, but it's not working yet. I hear the music, but I can't dance. I should be moving, but I'm stuck, and I need to fight this feeling, so I'll stay here on the floor. I'm not supposed to love you, not supposed to love you anymore. I've been looking for you in all these places, looking for you in all these faces I push through to get through. I've been trying to lose myself in the light, trying to find myself in the night without you. Can't find you. I feel the beat kicking my chest, close my eyes and wait, but it's not working yet. I hear the music, but I can't dance. I should be moving, but I'm stuck, and I need to fight this feeling, so I'll stay here on the floor. I'm not supposed to love you, not supposed to love you anymore. Don't wanna go home when the lights come up. Don't wanna go home, no. Don't wanna go home when the lights come up. Don't wanna go home, don't wanna go home. I hear the music, but I can't dance. I should be moving, but I'm stuck, and I need to fight this feeling, so I'll stay here on the floor. I'm not supposed to love you, not supposed to love you anymore. Not supposed to love you anymore.